Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. We're on location in the new Remai Modern, talking with Gregory Burke and Sandra Gamatis. And as always, we'd like to connect with you.
Tweet us at Shaw TV Saskatoon. Find us on Facebook or email shawtvconnect@shaw.ca. You can also watch previous interviews on Shaw TV's YouTube channel at youtube.com/Shaw TV Saskatoon.
The Remai Modern is getting ready to open, and we have the CEO and Executive Director, Gregory Burke, here today, giving us some insight and taking a few shots from inside the building. We were outside here 3 years ago, Gregory, and I know at that time it was under construction and there was a lot of vision and talk, and now it's reality, it's real. The structure is magnificent. I can't say congratulations yet, but I'm going to say congratulations on the hard work thus far. Tell us a bit about what the past 3 years have done for you in getting this reality in front of us today.
Well, the last 3 years, and I've been here 4.5 working on this project. I got here just as the shovels were going in the ground, actually, so it's been 4.5 year major task, I would say, major task. And I'm just so so excited and happy that we're here ready to open, and it's looking stunning. There's been a lot of work that's had to go on, what we've had to do, recruit a whole new staff for a building that is completely different to the former Mendel Art Gallery, 5 times the size, food service operation with employing 50 plus staff there. Major learning studio, 150 seat cinema theatre, and of course all of the galleries. We've been as these projects go, you know, there are things that are thought about, you know, before the construction starts in terms of the design, but there's a lot of things that get left out and you've got to deal with them, and we've been fundraising continuously through that time. Dealing with contractors, obviously, and architects and interior designers and graphic designers and climate control systems and the works.
I can't imagine the scope of this work, and I mean, I have cost overruns in building a fence in my yard, so I just can't picture the types of detail that you're going through. But can you touch a little bit on some of the programming aspects of it? I know that it's just a building in a sense, but there's a lot going to happen here and for the people. What do you see happening with the programming that you know of so far that you can share with us?
The opening exhibition, our inaugural exhibition, is called Field Guide, and that is an exhibition that really tries to bring together across several generations various viewpoints on the visual arts. It draws heavily from our collections, and the collections date back to the early 20th century. There's a major display of the of 142 Picasso lino cuts. That's only about a third of our holdings, in fact, but it's impressive when you see them all lined up together. It's amazing. We've brought together artists from Saskatchewan. We commissioned a new work by the very senior artist Eli Bornstein, for example. We've brought together works by leading artists from Canada, Stan Douglas, for example. It's a work that we have acquired, and it's a 6-screened video installation, which means you'll walk into a room and it's sort of like being inside a film. We have major artists like the artist Luc Tuymans from further afield. He's from Belgium and is regarded as one of the leading painters of our time. So there's a great mix of work, fantastic mix of work. There's something for everyone. There's landscapes, hard edge abstraction, there's video installation, the works. On top of that, and I think one of the things that I would say is very important to this vision for a museum is that it will be very active. This is not a museum or a gallery that you will just, the only opportunity you have is to passively look at things. So we have a live set of live programs which will involve film, performance, dance, lectures, reading groups. There are opportunities to take part in workshops. So when you visit the Remai Modern, there'll be every opportunity to actually engage and participate. And on top of that, of course, we have the learning and engagement programs, and some of those will happen and continue to happen in the community, but we will be bringing busloads of school children here every week to participate in the learning studio and learning programs. But there will be learning programs for families, for adults as well. And then there are family-oriented programs such as Discovery Cinema that will be taking place. We'll be open late 2 nights of the week till 10 o'clock on Tuesdays and Fridays, and there'll be lots of activities happening there. And last but not least, the museum is full of rentable community space, dramatic spaces, extraordinary spaces, and so weddings, galas, conferences, and all sorts of different activities will be happening. And the wonderful thing is that they will be happening in a art gallery, so that people attending these events will be encountering some of the best art that they've ever seen while they are getting married or whatever they're doing.
You know, I'm smiling on one hand because I did have the opportunity to participate on the steering and technical committee for the site. So to hear that from you, it's exactly what we had envisioned, 7 or 8 years ago in some of the planning. And the building is iconic in Canada, and I'm not an artist, but my daughter is, and I'm following her lead in some of this. Can you tell me, when we look at the building itself and what it means, I've been asked, is this a building that I'm going to frequent every month, every week, or maybe I'll just go through it? What's the use in going back? What's the response do you say to someone like that who's saying it's a one-off thing, that I'll only go there once? It sounds to me like there's going to be more than just one event here that I'll be able to come and visit.
Well, absolutely. I mean, of course, some people, I guess there's people in the world who've never been to an art gallery. We've got to try and change their minds. I mean, and a consistent and urgent focus of mine moving forward is to make sure that this gallery is as inviting and engaging as possible to all sections of the community. But if we think about the ground floor space, for example, it's completely free. It's the ground floor alone is the size of the Mental Art Gallery, completely free. There's a major gallery here that will have art on display, free at all times. But there's the atrium is also a place to gather, to relax, sit by the fire. We've got a large fireplace here, particularly in the winter. That'll be very inviting, I think. Or participate in a reading group. I mean, some people think that art is just about paintings on the wall. No, it's about much more than that. And obviously we have an incredible new art and design store with lots of really, really fantastic design objects, books, jewelry, posters, postcards, the works. And then on top of that, there is the new restaurant Shift, operated by leading catering firm in Canada, Oliver and Bonacini. And this will be one of the best, if not the best, location in the province for a restaurant. They will also be doing the catering for the events. So there's many different reasons to come to Remai Modern.
I think that's you touched on that key point in terms of the location of the gallery itself. I mean, many of us have been up and down the riverbank, but the viewpoints and the vistas that we have from the different levels and the cantilevered floor spaces over top of the river valley are breathtaking.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the most beautiful art gallery in Canada, without a question. It's the architecture and the quality of the build is second to none, but it's matched by this magnificent location, and it's really taken advantage of the location, and the views of the river as it does an S-turn probably will not have been seen before by the vast majority of people. So yeah, we're very proud, and we feel that this building will be a source of major civic pride for all people in Saskatoon.
It's good to hear. I would like to just refer back to a previous interview that we did in 2014, and I think just reviewing that 3 years ago and watching it again and seeing this come to fruition and the reality you can touch, feel, smell and see all the things that we talked about. If we were to watch this show 3 years from now, what do you think would be a key thing that you'd be really proud of looking back and seeing then?
Well, I mean, for me, the completion of this project is something that I will treasure all my life. I mean, it's a kind of an apex of my career. The opportunity to start a museum from the ground up, to define its vision, to work with such wonderful donors and the City of Saskatoon and a great staff, a great board, great fundraising volunteers. It doesn't happen that often, and certainly not to the scale of this project as it happened before in my career. So I hope to look back in 3 years' time and say, I can't believe that I was part of this.
I'm really proud of the work you've done and your team here, and many thanks to previous city councils and this council. It is truly a magnificent building, and I want to compliment you and your staff here and wish you all the best in the years to come.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.